Hi, I'm Sung Ray.
I'm something else.
Here at Black Girl Soul, a podcast where we discuss the Asian dramas we love from a black female perspective. We are looking to be entertained, to learn about other cultures, and share our passion for these shows. Welcome.
Welcome to a new episode. Y'all, I have been going through these trials and tribulations being a new K-pop fan, and I just wanted to share my trials and tribulations with you. I am Song Ray of Black Girl Soul. I have a new segment I'm going to be doing called BGS K-Pop Chronicles. And I've already really done episode 1 because I talked to you guys about my falling in love with 2PM in Juno. So that will be episode 1 of K-Pop Chronicles. We are on to episode 2. I had someone ask me about whether or not I was going to do a part 2 with Juno and 2PM, to which it's coming. However, before I could get to 2, I fell in love with a whole nother group, and so I just want to share my love and how I became a multi and didn't even try to. So, I will start off with telling you guys about meeting this group called NCT. I happen to be watching the 2022 NBC Music Festival because Juno was on there. He was one of the hosts, and I was excited to, watch him. And in the process of watching him, I hear this song, and I was like, oh shit, what is that? So I go back, because I'm like, I gotta catch that again. I really like the vibe, how that started off. So I go back so I could sit down and really get focused, because I was kind of moving around. When he wasn't on the screen, I'm moving around doing other stuff. So I sit down to watch, and I was like, oh, okay, I don't know who these guys are. Their names show up on the screen, and they go and they sing the song. And I was like, that was really dope. I like that song a lot. I played it again. So much so I call up something else, and I'm like, something else, you gotta take a screenshot of this. I like this song. I want to use it for something on social media. I don't know what, but I'll figure out something. I made some memes, some TikToks, and yeah, I really like this song. Now, as the interview is happening before they sing, they were asking them, I think, where the song came from and why they decided to just have the 3 of them. So again, not knowing who NCT is, not knowing anything about them, I just went on ahead and I'm listening. But the guy talking, I kept saying, I know this dude from somewhere. I don't know where I know him from, but I know him from somewhere. Time goes on, and I realize as the show Master in the House ends, that's where the hell I met him. I met him because they had the mixed martial artist Cho Sung-hyun, Sexyama. He was on the show, and this was his second time being on the show. The first time Cha Eun-woo was on the show, but this time it was Do Young who was there as a one-day guest. So I hadn't really kept his name in mind or paid him much attention. I just know he happened to be on the show, and they had done this whole thing with bunny ears in him and him being afraid of the man. And so that stuck in my head, and I always laugh about it whenever I would see stuff show up on the internet. But this time, now I'm connecting the dots. I'm going back laughing, going, oh, the bunny ears. Okay, makes sense. But any which way, that was how I met NCT, the 2022 NBC Music Festival Awards. Well, from that performance, from me creating these TikToks, from me, listening to the song and then starting to get people to comment back and say things, I'm like, oh, okay, the group is called NCT. Maybe need to check them out. So, I go ahead and I start looking up different stuff about them, and I see, oh shit, it's one of them groups where it's too many people. Oh no, I'm good. I don't want to learn about them. It's too many of them. I'm good. I'm gonna let that go. And I did. I drop it and I keep it moving. So I'm going on with my life, doing the things that I do, and I had gotten to this space during my drama watching because, as you guys know, Something Else and I started this journey all with dramas. K-dramas, Japanese dramas, Chinese dramas, but we started with dramas. And so from the dramas, it led us into other things. In which case, my drama watching had kind of waned. I wasn't really feeling a lot of the shows that were out. I was, just struggling trying to get through them. But as such, I really like variety shows. So I was like, okay, let me see what's over here on Cocoa. I was in the process. I had been watching Peak Time. I had finished up my episodes. I was all caught up. Jenny's Kitchen was getting ready to start, but it hadn't started just yet. So, I was like, let me just see what's on Cocoa to find, just kind of pass some time while I'm trying to figure out what to do with myself. And I see this thing called NCT Life in Gapyeong. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm tearing it up, please forgive me, help me, correct me. Any which way, I said, okay, let me click on that. Looks like it's a boy group, see what they got going on. So I click on it. And while I'm clicking, let me just go ahead and say this part. The one thing I do note, and I'll speak to you guys about this in part 3, but one thing I do note is different fandoms have different ways of serving their fans, and in which case some serve very well, meaning you eat real good all the time. Some you be digging for a breadcrumb, like, can I get something, please? Something, just right there, I'll take that. Like you trying to just find something. So this group does an excellent job with they feed their fans very well. You eat too much if you ain't careful. But in which case, I click on them, I go in because there's nothing from my fandom that I could find. So I'm over here dry hottest trying to figure it out. So, I click on this. And as I'm watching, I was like, oh, they're kind of cool. It's only 9 guys. I don't see the big 23 that I initially ran away from back then. So, I'm thinking to myself, interesting. I didn't put 2 and 2 together until I see Do Young on the show, and I'm like, oh, that's that dude from the NBC thing I had watched. So I was like, oh, and he sings that song I really, really liked. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and see what they're about. I keep watching, and I began to really get ingratiated in liking, I'm like, oh, I like them. They're cool. I like the stuff they're doing. I like how they're, functioning. It was because it's not like they're singing on the variety show, so it's not like I'm hearing any music for the most part. Like, they've played their songs, of course, during some of the games, but I don't know any of them, so that's here nor there to me. But in which case, I began to notice, just how they're dealing with each other, the way they function, stuff like that. And so one of them had really caught my eye, and I was like, oh, he is so cute. He's got the cutest smile. Like, I'm falling in love over here. So every night I'm coming home watching, so I've realized, oh, there's more episodes, there's more shows, so more of the NCT Lives. I start watching those, and I'm really just digging in and falling in. So by this point, I've decided, okay, I gotta figure out who this guy is, because he's so cute. I want to know who he is. So I go looking him up, because y'all know me, I'm going to go dig. And as I go digging and figuring out, okay, who he is, and realizing Cutie Pie's name is Jaehyun, I was like, oh, he's an actor. So great, let me go find the drama he's in, and I'll watch it. And the drama was alright. Wasn't, top notch. It was okay. Someone had suggested this drama to me a while ago, told me I really needed to watch it, so I put it on my watch list for Vicky, but I hadn't as yet watched. So since I was doing this digging, find out Jaehyun is in it, I went on ahead and I watched it. It did what it did. It was a drama. I liked the premise and I liked the storyline and where they were going with it, but it just didn't have any real spark or impact for me. Now, that's my drama watching self saying that's how I feel about it. I would watch it again, so you know that my K-pop self is a little crazy. I would watch it again because I love Jaehyun. But moving on. That was kind of how I felt about it. And if given another opportunity to be in a drama, I would love to see him in something that was more moody or had darker tones, because based upon his personality, I think he would do good with that. The personality, that he shows us, because it ain't like I know who he is. Anyway, from there, I began to explore their music. So the drama didn't really do it for me. Like, with Jun Ho, I at least had the red sleeve, and I had other dramas and other shows to pull from. This team, I didn't realize till later that some other ones have done some acting as well, but again, it took me time to get to that part. From here, though, I began to explore the music, because that's just who I am. So I'm like, okay, great, let's start from the beginning. I want to see hear their debut music, what made them step out. And so the song I find, or so I thought was their debut, because I realized that this NCT Life in Gapyeong is NCT 127. The song that I find is The Seven Sense. I fell in fucking love with that song, y'all. You hear me? So later on, excuse me. Later on, I realized that that's not NCT 127's debut song. That was NCT U's debut song. I'll explain all of these initials and things later, so you better understand what I'm coming from. If you're new to them, or if you know them, you already know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so in my family, I have my nephew. My nephew is like my best friend. Me and him talk about everything. So he and I also share musical taste, and he knows what I really, really like, and things like that. So when he was younger, I used to be his transportation every fucking where.
baseball practice, school, pickups from football, this, that, and the third, to the mall, whatever. I was his ride. Skating, hanging out with his friends, whatever. So when he rides with me, that means he has to listen to what I like because shit, it was my car. I'm driving. So there was this time where I was in Master P. That was the era I was in. That was, I was feeling it. I was rocking. And there was this song called Weed and Hennessy. And every day we would get in the car, I played this song. Probably like 5, 6, 7 times too. Like I wasn't just gonna do no one run and I was done. Nah, man, this song gonna run back a few times. So to the point he requested, please find something else to listen to because I'm getting tired of hearing this. So I texted him when I found the 7 Cents, and I was like, dude, I done found my new Weed and Hennessy. Like, this shit is off the chain. It's old, but I still like it. So I'm telling him all about it, and I share with him. I even start sharing with other people. That's how much I like this. I like the song. So I was like, okay, since that's the case, let me start listening to some other things. And I start finding I'll get to that, but I start finding some of everything under the sun that I really liked about them. I grew up in a family that was very musical. So I have lots of musicians in my family. I have some that have released albums of their own. I have some that are Grammy Award winners. I have some that are still active in bands or groups. And in my family, we've always just been a group of people who we like music. We like listening to music. Music is always around, and we listen to a wide variety of it. We have this dedicated party called the After Christmas Party. The After Christmas Party is just a chance for us to get together, vibe, listen to music, and chill. It's been going on for about 37 years, minus the 2 years of the pandemic, because nobody was getting together for nothing with us, but it was what it was. But 37 years strong, this party's been rolling. So I think that is like awesome, and just I love my family for having taught me an appreciation of music. With that, I've listened to everything from old school R&B, jazz, blues, reggae, big band, 80s, 90s rock, pop, current R&B, world beats, old school hip hop, gangster rap, dirty South rap, Zydeco, Christian gospel, French rap. I mean, I've been around the world with music. In which case, listening to K-pop and Korean music didn't really bother me one way or the other. And I realized as I had been watching dramas, I had already started listening, just didn't realize that I was officially a fan. Like, it took me finding a group that I really love before I was like, oh, I'm a K-pop fan. So, it is what it is. So with that, NCT's 7 Cents did that for me. It sent me down this huge ass rabbit hole because NCT is big. It's 23 members. And I'm still falling down that rabbit hole as we speak. Right this second, I am still falling down the rabbit hole because now I'm a Ways&E fan. Any which way, and as I explored their wide discography, I learned about the units, I learned about the members, I realized that I really liked this group and the machine that was behind them, that was producing them, not just SM, but like the different producers like Kenzie and people who come and work with them. They had gems every which way. I was having trouble finding music that I did not like. I kept discovering new Weed and Hennessy's every day. And I didn't think it was possible, but here I was buying old albums because I like so many songs. So I got this rule. My rule is that unless I can find 5 or more songs on an album that I like, I don't purchase it because it's wasting my money and my time. I could just stream what I do like. But when I find this 5 or more, I want to own a physical copy. I want to own the album or the songs because that's just how my mind works. 127 had a new album that just dropped, I think in February sometime, if I'm not mistaken, and I was digging that as well. So I wanted all these things. On top of that, the swag that comes with buying K-pop albums, y'all. You get photo cards, you get posters, you get photo books, you get all kind of stuff, and they even give out CDs. Like, I was cracking up when I got my first one. Like, they got for real physical CDs in here. That made me laugh. But to which case, again, I wanted to own a copy, so here we are. And so as that was all happening, I realized, okay, I've for real gone down this road because bought these albums. I done went and bought the light stick. And I have started trading photo cards for the ones of Jamal. If you know who Jamal is, you know. If you don't, hey, it is what it is. So I realized that I was deciding this is going to be the fandom I'm going to join as well. So I was like, oh shit, I'm a little conflicted here. To which case I have to talk to my multis because I need y'all's help. I'm not sure how y'all do this. I am struggling, but in which case I'm all the way down this hole, so I can't stop myself. But now I'm over here. I'm an seasoning. I'm a netizen or NCTzen. Sorry, NCT. seasoning, because I can't pronounce it the other way they say it when they say it in English, seasoning. And in which case, that's just where I am, and I have become one. I'm here, and it is what it is. In my process of doing all my digging, finding my music, I realized that they had come to my city 1 month before I started doing my digging and finding of them, which totally pissed me off because I was like, damn it, how come I didn't dig in December? At least then I would have known. Yeah, no, I missed it, and that like kind of hurts my heart because now there are more K-pop concerts, but still, when it's the group you want it to be, that's a whole nother story. So, it is what it is. Next time they come though, oh, I'm so ready. Do you hear me? I'm so ready. Okay. Okay. So I've given you all of the info about my new loves. I'm going to try to explain them to you guys. First, NCT means Neoculture Technology. That is what the letters stand for. And there will be 6 fixed teams. Initially, and that's as of March 2023. Initially, when they started, it was supposed to be infinite expansions, infinite teams, whatever groups that could pop up. Because there's been a lot of change in the SM Entertainment and heads and leadership, they've done now that they're going to stop all the infinity, and you have these 6 fixed groups. So group 1, the group that I first met, now it's not the first group to debut. The first group to debut would be NCTU, but I'll bag up later and tell you about them. So the first group that I met was NCT 127. 9 members. You have Taeil, Johnny, Taeyong, Yuta, Doyoung, Jaehyun, Jungwoo, Mark, and Haechan. They are known for their music, which is called neo music, which is heavily experimental. You got your hip hop, R&B, pop, ballads, stuff like that. Those are the sounds that you hear from them. And neo just meaning that it's, part of that neo culture technology. Okay. Then you have group 2, NCT Dream. Dream consists of Mark, Rejun, Jino, Haechan, Jaemin, Chanil. I might be saying his name wrong, I apologize, and Jisung. They are intended to be like your teenage unit. And it was supposed to be initially when they started where you could graduate out of Dream and move into one of the other units. But that got shut down. They are now a fixed unit. And they focus on youth, adolescence, growth, and transition into adulthood through teen pop. Now, how long that's all going to last? Because Jisung is the youngest one, and I believe he is 21. Let me check my records because I am trying to keep up with all things NCT. Yeah, he's 21. So I'm not sure how long that's going to last, but that's who they are. Then you have NCTU. NCTU, which basically means NCT United, which is a rotational lineup. It has members from any of these other groups, any of these other fixed units that come together depending on what the song's concept is. So they've got some bops, you hear me. They got some songs that I am fucking in love with as well, but that's again how I met them, because NCTU is the song was 7 Cents was the debut for NCTU. Any which way. You have Wayzhini, which stands for, it's spelled WAYV, which stands for We Are Your Vision. And this is the Chinese group. They're officially 7 members: Kun, Tin, Winwin, Lucas, Xiaojun, Hendry, Yang. But there are only 6 that are active right now because one has basically been benched through some controversy he got caught up in. They're known for their C-pop, Chinese popular music, Mandarin pop, Mandarin popular music, K-pop, hip-hop, and R&B. Then you have the newly formed NCT Daejeon, which formed April 17th, I believe. They're a 3-member group, which consists of Doyoung, Jaehyun, and Jungwoo. Their music is mainly R&B. The name of this group comes from the 3 members, Do being Doyoung, Jae being Jaehyun, Jung being Jungwoo. And this is the unit's pre-debut performance that led me into this whole NCT fandom. That song, Can We Go Back? Then finally, you're supposed to have sometime this year, based upon an article I read, that NCT Tokyo, that's not really the name, but that's basically, I guess, the unit that they're putting together, a Japanese unit. NCT Tokyo, this group has been part of the plan for some time, but as S&M has been going through its management changes, they did announce this year that this group would debut. Don't know when, don't know who's going to be in it. Like, I'm assuming, doing my speculations, Yuta and Shotaro will be in it, but I'm not sure. Suffice it to say, though, that I am firmly, deeply rooted in this neo-culture life for now, and I plan on riding out all these upcoming military duties, because I see that's getting ready to happen. We're going to lose some folks to military duty, and knowing that, we're going to probably get some great solo work. So like Taeyong has a solo album coming up, I think in July. I saw the date, but I can't remember. I think it's in July, in which case I'm pretty sure that's why, because he's one of the older members. So if we were to look right now, Taeyong is 29, Johnny is 28, but Johnny's American, so he wouldn't have to serve. Taeyong is 28, he would have to serve. Yuta is 28, but Yuta's Japanese, he wouldn't have to. Do Young is 27, Jaehyun is 26. So like those three, between Taeyong, Do-young, and Jaehyun, they would be the next three to like get in line, and I think Taeyong is going to be like having to make a move real soon, because that's why over in another fandom, that's why Kai is having to make his move now. So like the service to their country is very important to them, and I think, I kind of like the concept of how it's done, but it does cause a disruption if you don't get it out the way early enough, and usually they can't because they're rookies at the time. So I don't know, it's just the odd way this all flows. But in my mind, I'm like, I know I have to get my mind ready because it's getting ready to happen soon, so let me just go ahead and steel myself and get prepared because it's coming. Anyway, for this episode, I'm going to go ahead and stop. Hope you learned something about NCT. If you did, yay! Hopefully you'll go listen to some of their music. I'm pretty sure you might like it, because I'm telling you, they have a wide variety of music. And even if not, if that's not your bag of tea, I thank you for joining me and thank you for listening. It was cool having you. I'm going to go ahead and give you a preview for Kpop Chronicles Part 3. So like I said, in Kpop Chronicles Part 3, I'm going to be talking about being a multi. Someone who likes more than one fandom, more than one K-pop group, and the difficulty that I found that goes on in my heart sometimes. Like, I'm sharing about having two ultimate biases, the conflict that I have with, like, one day, this really made me, one day there was a performance, it was the Basync Awards, and Juno was presenting, but on that exact same day, Do Jae-jung was performing on one of the music shows. I don't remember which one. Y'all, I was struggling that morning because it was morning time for me. I was struggling that morning getting ready. I'm already doing wrong because I'm supposed to be getting ready for work, but instead I'm watching shit on the phone on different apps, and pissed off because I couldn't figure out, okay, do I try to watch this and see if he's gonna, when he's gonna show up, because I didn't know exactly when Juno was gonna show up, but I do know that they were performing, so I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna just watch the performance and hopefully I can catch Juno. If I don't, I have to go back and watch it later. But like, I wanted to see both of them live. That hurt, but that's, being a multi has its pluses and its negatives, but I need to talk to some other folk who've been doing this for a while and who can help me out, because I need some help. Anyway, check back in about 2 weeks for part 3, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to Black Girl Soul. We enjoyed having you, and please subscribe, like, and follow our Facebook page, YouTube channel, Twitter page, Instagram page, and join our Facebook group. You can also find us on Patreon. Please look below for links. See you guys next week.